every week I try and bring somebody different to the platform because Grant and I were discussing earlier, even though we're all trading Forex and we're trying to get from point A to point B, we take different routes. It's like different artists have a different way to express artistic expression. So I might explain the charts in one way, Jessica or Terrell or one of my other guests might explain it in another way. But we all have our artistic expression in marking up these charts. So the reason I like to have different guests on is because you might see the charts differently from me, and they might bring an aha moment to the table for you, or give you something that you've missed on previous plays of Forex'n'Chill. So I just want to feed the masses, give you all the free education we can, because I know not everybody right now is enrolled or paying for an education. It might not be in your budget right now or in your time right now. So if you can just get some nuggets off of Forex'n'Chill, then we've done our job. With that being said, it is 10:05 p.m. I welcome you tonight to Friday Night Forex'n'Chill. I'm excited for the Miss Jessica Laine, my beautiful friend, to be on here tonight. She's had a very exciting road up to where she is now, and I'm going to turn it over to Grant, let him introduce her, and I'm going to mute myself out. We only ask that you stay muted, especially if you have background noise. When we get to the question session, you can unmute to ask a question, or you can type your question in the chat, and the recording will be available. And that's why we ask you just to give your utmost respect to our guests. Stay muted so everybody can learn, take notes, and here we go. Thank you guys for joining. Grant, it's over to you.
Thank you, Gigi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Forex'n'Chill. And tonight, as she mentioned, we're going to have Jessica Laine. And I've known Jessica going on a while. She, I mean, more than a year, I believe, or almost a year. But anyway, she is one of our mentors. She came up with Clint and Terrell and Mario's. She studied under Stevenson Lindor, so she's got great market structure training. She also studied under another mentor, and I'm sure she'll go over her experience. And as you can see in the picture, she has a lot of experience outside of Forex as well. So she's a public figure. She specializes in health and nutrition, and she's making it big. She's making a big splash on the Forex scene. So allow me to introduce once again Jessica Laine. Jessica, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Hi, everybody. Well, welcome. Thank you, Gigi, for allowing me to come on your platform. I think Forex'n'Chill is absolutely amazing. You know, it's Forex, like literally so many people. The fact that it's even 155 people on this call, like I know people get on my Monday night calls, but like to have it on a Friday and it be so many people that are just willing and ready to learn is absolutely amazing, because I think that so many people, you know, want things handed to them. But not a lot of people really grind and get what they need to out of this skill. So like, it's actually very, very exciting for me. Like, I'm always down to mark up the charts. I'm always down to analyze, but everybody doesn't have that passion and that desire. And the fact that all of you guys are on here on a Friday night speaks volumes, especially when it comes to your success. I look at you guys as people that will literally one day be the ones that's making millions of dollars in the market and not just taking signals. No shade, but real thing, right? So first off, how do I want to take this? Can I share my screen? It's not letting me.
I was going to say, go ahead, share your screen. It should undo my share.
Okay.
If not, I'll stop my share and you could do yours.
Yeah, it's not letting me. Like, I'm pressing it right now. Okay, perfect. Let's see. All right, here we go. Perfect. All right, guys. So this call that I was going to do, I was really thinking like today, typically on Mondays, I'll go over like setups and stuff like that. But like even though the market's closed, what I really want to break down is like what we see as traders, because anybody can teach you how to trade, right? Anybody can teach you how to draw trend lines. Anybody can show you Fibonacci. Anybody can show you Rankos. Anybody can show you strategy after strategy after strategy. There are some people that use Elliott wave. Some people that literally just use break and retest, apply and demand, or whatever the case may be. But what differentiates the people that are like successful and extracting money from the market and the people that literally just know strategies and are losing money? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know so many people that will literally pay for educator after educator after educator after educator, when at the end of the day, everything that you need is like inside of you, right? And I'm not even saying that to be cliche, more so from the standpoint that trading is a self journey first, right? So I can show you how to do something like, Grant briefly like ran over my bio or whatever, but before I started Forex trading, I was like a health reporter, right? And I can go to school all day long on how to talk on TV. But if I get in front of a camera and I freeze up, it's a difference. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Like, it's the difference between application and knowing something. There's a difference between execution and knowing something and applying it. So I'm going to kind of go over the setups that I traded today. And if you guys have questions or whatever, like, I'm not the best at checking the chat box because like sometimes I get carried away with my talking. Sometimes I get like very, very in tune to what I'm doing. But if you guys have a question, make sure you please like unmute yourself and ask it. I don't mind. You're not interrupting me because the whole goal is for everybody to learn, and the whole goal is for everybody to get what they need to from this call. So if everybody is on one accord, then you could just type a money bag. Well, I guess you guys have your laptop, so you can't type a money bag, but okay, cool. So one of like my favorite trades for the week was gold, right? I hope everybody made money on gold, but I'm going to go over like what I was looking for with gold, why I knew gold was going in the sell, and how I got in it. Because sometimes we as educators, I feel like we'll just tell you guys like, oh, gold is going to go down or gold is going to go up, or we'll say like Euro USD is for a sell or Euro USD is for a buy or US 30 is buying, but we don't really break down like, why is it doing this? What did I see to make me analyze that to get in this trade? What did I look for? Like things and sort like that. I know some people have been on my sessions, but for everybody that's like literally brand new, hello. I do trade a little bit differently, as Grant was mentioning. I've had 3 educators up until this point. Stevenson Linder was my very first. He taught me literally how to box price in, which is very, very significant when it comes to the market. He taught me everything about like overall market structure. And then Q Banks is a great friend of mine. He taught me entries, which are very, very important in the market because some people get in the market too soon. Some people get in the market too late. And you got that very, very, very small amount of people that get into the market right on time. And as you guys know, entry is everything. You can get in the market, you can know the market is going up, you can know the market is going down, but where you enter the market is significant because one, I don't know about y'all, but I hate drawdown. I'm not a drawdown type of person. Like there are some people that are swing traders, and I also want to encourage everybody that's on this call to like really write down what type of trader you are. If you don't know what type of trader you are, you got to figure it out because you won't be successful in trading until you know. Are you a swing trader, right? So do you have patience, first off? If you even want to try to understand what type of trader you are, you need to ask yourself of your personal qualities. So are you patient or are you not? That can identify whether you can hold a trade for a long period or you can't. You know what I'm saying? So some things like that or whatever the case may be. But so this is gold. All right, so everybody knows that like, and I don't want to erase all of this, but everybody knows like the typical main thing you want to do when you get into the market or when you're analyzing the market is top-down analysis. Does everybody know what that is? If not, it's basically starting from the highest time frame and working yourself down. I know I have all these fibs, so let me delete them so I can show you guys from the monthly. But you'll basically go to the monthly, you'll go to the weekly, you'll go to the daily. So most people, they'll put like a support and resistance line. Typically what I do is I always like start mine off with trend lines, just because I want to know, like, okay, I know the high and I know the low, but like what was the trend in this certain zone or in this certain time frame, right? So then, of course, we look at the weekly, we see like what price is doing. Never draw your trend lines on the last candle that's forming, right? So it's a week or it's a month or whatever, but that candle is still being formed. You could have a monthly candle that opened up the second day of the month, and literally it could have been a complete downtrend for those first 2 days of the month. So like, what's today? It's November 8th, right? You see this monthly candle has gone to, well, this weekly candle has gone significantly down. Let's say we were on a monthly and it was just a complete bearish candle. But let's say 5 days from now, the market shot all the way up. Now that monthly candle will look completely different than what it looks like now, right? So just like a little nugget when you're drawing from your time frames. But then I'll go to the daily. So I'll see like what's going on the daily, what's going on here, or whatever the case may be. You can, at this point, this is where I identify like my supply and demand zones or my exhaustion zones. Typically, I will do exhaustion zones more so than supply and demand, because I kind of equate a lot of people. I actually did on the last boot camp like an in-depth session on supply and demand and what supply and demand means, because I think also even when people are trading, they don't really, people will draw supply and demand zones but don't even know what supply and demand is, right? And so even when you talk about price, all of this stuff is significant. When people talk about literally buying low and selling high, I had somebody ask me last week, I think it was, like they don't understand why you sell in the market and they don't understand why you buy, which every question is a valid question, right? But that typically goes into just understanding the basics of the economy. A lot of people trading out here and they don't even study economics. They don't study like the news, right? If you are trading and you don't know what Bloomberg is, or you don't understand like what's going on in the market, I don't get it, right? And that goes back to my point when I said I had 3 teachers. My third teacher always talked about fundamentals to me. And I think he was like one of the main ones that drove it in my head. And it helped me understand everything so clearly, because we will see Euro versus USD and we will see the Great British Pound, but why is it moving, right? Like it's going up, it's going down. We can draw lines or whatever, but like, why is this happening? It kind of puts you in a different mindset to really put you over the edge when you're analyzing. All right. So my analysis on gold, I remember a couple of months ago, I think it was around, actually right here, right? So everybody was like really thinking gold was going to drop. I don't remember the exact level, but it was a level in which when we draw, like, let's say we draw our high to our low, right? Let's say we're boxing price in, but nobody ever talks about like when that structure breaks. And then we get in for, let's say at this point, and a lot of you guys, if you guys have been trading for a while, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Gold had gotten to like its highest point, and then people are like, oh, like gold is going to fall, gold is going to fall, gold is going to fall, just based off of patterns in the market and based off of drawing like that support and resistance zone. Because at this time, price had not been over this certain level since like 2013. So here, this was the level right here. Let me put it. All right, so this was the level right here, right? Everybody, when it got to this level, like as you see, 2013 in August, it came right here, dropped, right? April came right here, dropped. Right here, July came right here, dropped. April again, right? So right here, everybody expected like gold is gonna come right here and it's gonna drop. But guess what happened? So many people lost money because at this point, gold just pushed through. But if you don't understand the fundamentals and you don't really understand what is going on, you just going off of technicals alone. And it's like, yes, technicals are very 100% valid. But in certain instances, the market I think a lot of people they think the market is going to make them money opposed to extracting opportunities from the market, right? And it's a very big difference in what I just said. So some people will just trade every day. Somebody in my group earlier this week was like, GBP's been tripping, right? GBP's been tripping this week. But not that GBP's been tripping, it's just that GBPs are in consolidation. So understanding market structure and knowing that will let you know, okay, I need to react to the market opposed to just looking at the market every single day and trying to trade it when it's not ready, right? So if I got in for a buy or if I get in for a sell, and I want all of you guys to ask yourself this, would I rather trade in the market every single day, be irritated because it's not signals every single day? Would I be irritated if I don't see a setup every single day, right? Would I want to risk losing money every other day? Or would I just rather wait for a setup and I know the setup is coming and take the setup when it's ready and make $2,500 this week or $5,000 this week just because I was patient and understood what was going on? Does that make sense? And you guys can talk back to me. Like I'm definitely going to get into the charts, but like psychology is a big point of trading as well. And I think it's something that a lot of people don't talk about, right? We will go through these things and we will show you certain things, but like if you don't have your mind together and if you aren't understanding certain things, like it's not going to work, right? So I'm not just trying to like talk at you guys. I'm just trying to like break down the why as to why certain things are. So is that all making sense? Like y'all can talk back to me. Please talk back to me. I feel like I'm just like
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
yes.
All right. So
Yeah, it's very, yeah.
okay. So what I saw in gold, right? As I mentioned, at this point, price had not been over this level since 2013. So that's just something that I'm like psychologically like registering in my mind, right? Now we got up to this point, September, a couple months ago, whatever, where this right here, and I know we have extremely new people on this call because it's even people that I see that I know are like very new in trading. So I am gonna, like the people that's experienced, you guys know about supply and demand or you know about support and resistance or whatever, but I want to break it down so everybody is learning collectively. So right here we have a resistance level that was previous support, right? Right here, support broke, and now it's testing as resistance. So that's the first thing we need to be aware of, right? And because I know price has not been at this level in such a long time, everybody, even to this day, is like, gold is about to drop, gold is about to fall to hell, gold is about to go to the floor. But it's like, yo, that's why I understand the time frame correlation is so significant, because if I know gold has not been here in so long, why would I think it's just gonna tap it and go away? Right? Is that making sense? Like, if it has not been in this space, okay, so when we talk about smaller time frames can just break through easily because it's a smaller time frame. Like support and resistance is completely different on a smaller time frame than it is on a larger time frame. A larger time frame, you always have more confirmation, but the thing is, if price has not been at this area in such a long, significant time, it's going to take weeks to months upon days to literally go away from this point. Does that make sense?
Yes, right, yeah.
So yes. People are asking like, why is gold ranging in this area? Why has gold not fallen yet? You got to really understand what's going on to even like identify that question. So at this point right here, I'm going to my daily and I see like this level right here. Let me zoom in for y'all. This level right here is what? Y'all can talk back to me. Up here. Resistance, supply, exhaustion.
Isn't that supply?
Yeah. Okay. So we have a supply zone here, right? And then we have another level formed about right here, which is like a resistance zone. I drew it at this level where I just had these wicks right here. We see it broke through, but it tested this area, right? So I just know like at this point, I'm just literally taking notes of like my certain levels, right? And then here, I'm gonna put this in a different color. Put it in red. here I see price constantly, repeatedly come into this area and dropping, right? So I'm just showing you guys like the walkthrough of my process of how I trade, all right? So then here I have my floor, all right here. I see like where price has been. I see what is going on. I see that price has literally been ranging in this entire range right here, right? So now, and I don't know how many people like use fibs. I know fibs confuses a lot of people, but I would not be able to trade without fibs. It's literally the best thing in life to me. But particularly this week, and I did a gold analysis. I don't know how many people are in my Telegram, but it was a gold analysis that I put out. I think it was like, it was.
Hey, and make sure you drop your link for everybody to follow you before we get off tonight.
Okay, for sure, I will. What is this logo? Oh, it's right here. This right, like right at this yellow dot. I'm gonna do one thing at a time, but I want you guys to like really understand what is going on. So at this point right here, we got A to B, right? So the whole goal when we are using our Fibonacci is to find your high to your low, and then you're looking for your PRZ level. So your PRZ level is your price reversal zone. That's a very important factor when understanding structure, because where price reverses to lets you know how far price is going to go, right? So like even in life, when we talk about you got to know your history, to know your future, same exact thing in the market. So if I know like where price is going, or if I see where price has gone, it will help me identify where price is going in the future. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So this goal setup we marked up on Monday. Monday, literally, we had gold. It was like right around here. And I think I called out Monday night that this was going to buy, right? It was going to come to this trend line. Why did I know that? Okay, first off, you guys should know, everybody should know how to draw trend lines at this point. But you always got to understand that when something breaks, it's always going to retest that area, right? I knew price would not retest all the way up here because price had broken so strongly through this area. So even understanding like your candlestick analysis, like how strong a push is when we talk about like impulses and corrections or whatever the case may be. So I had this trend line right here. I literally put out in my group to buy gold to this 38.2. I said buy to the trend line, and then gold is falling. Now, as you guys know, this -27 and this -61.8 is always where I clarify my TPs, or where I put my TPs. So a lot of people are like, oh, how do you know where to take? Like, I don't know where to enter and exit a trade, right? Is that making sense? I want to make sure I'm not talking to you, like talking at you guys. I wanted to make sure you're like digesting what I'm saying. Does anybody have any questions about like anything before I just keep talking?
Yeah, so where do you start your fib at?
The high. So like right here, this is an alert I had said, let me delete this. Okay. So your fib always starts from the high to the low, and then if it's on a uptrend, you want to go from the low to the high so that you can measure the retrace so that you can go higher. So like why is my chart not okay? Here we go. All right, so here, 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 right? If I'm drawing a fib, I want to draw from the high to the low, measure the retrace so that I know where it's going. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yes. Totally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it makes sense.
Yes. Yes.
And vice versa. If I'm on a, uptrend. Here, here, here. A to B. We want to see where price is going, point C, into the future. Our TP is always the extension levels.
So point C is gonna be your retest.
Your point C is always your retrace level. So where is price retracing to? And a lot of people are like, oh, like how far do I know? How do I know how far price is going to pull back? Which is a very valid question, but that's understanding structure. And that comes to the point where I was talking about hold on, let me look at my Telegram real quick. So when was this? I just want to clarify the dates real quick. So it was let's see, okay, this is the video. What day is this? October 8th. So let me just pull up here. This is perfect. So it was this area. It was October 8th. So we had talked about price, and I'm just showing you guys so that you see, like, how do I know how far price is going to go? I literally had given out two scenarios of price even coming to this trend line right here and dropping, but if price came and broke this trend line, expected to retest it, but understanding fib levels as well. Like, you guys know that, like, on your Fibonacci level, if price goes past the 100% mark, the trend is no longer valid. Does everybody know that?
Yes.
I do.
Like,
I know now. I know
I
now.
know now.
okay,
Could you repeat that?
on your Fibonacci, and I also don't want to confuse people that like really don't trade with Fibonacci, because if you have a trading strategy and your trading strategy works for you, stick to it. Fibonacci just works for me. That is what, like, literally, I can't imagine trading without Fibonacci. But if you use wrinkles, or if you use a different method for the market, I want you to master that method. So that's like my like what I'm saying to you, like really, really understand and take that into account. Because the thing is with trading is that so many people learn from so many different people that it screws up their mind, right? If you go and you learn from Steven Cylinder, then you go learn, yes, I had 3 teachers, but they all taught me, like, I was very, very careful in like my teachers and understanding my teachers. So from Stevenson, he taught me overall market. So understanding swing trading, I know the overall direction. But that didn't necessarily, like, I needed to understand entries better because I don't like drawdown at all. So how could I understand entries better? But I still took what Steve taught me and applied it to what I learned from my other educator. And then the third person I had literally just only taught fundamentals so that I could tie all of those different things in. But when it comes to technical analysis, don't learn too many technicals from too many people, because you don't want to confuse yourself. Because when you're in a market and you got to execute, literally you can't be thinking like, oh, do I need to like draw my MACD here, or am I supposed to draw my trend line here, or like what is going on, or should I draw my Fibonacci right now? Like, what am I supposed to be looking for now? Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. A lot of people, have you ever felt that feeling where you just overwhelmed?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
for
you
sure.
don't know what you're looking at. And that's another problem that I have. Nothing against IML at all. Like, IML is a great platform for people to really understand trading. But everybody that I like really rock with IML, I tell them like, yo, find your educators and stick to those educators. Do not go on everybody's IML TV session from the standpoint that it will confuse you. You see one person one day doing Elliott wave, and then you go to somebody else and literally they're doing wrinkles. And then you go to somebody else and they're doing like something completely different where it literally messes up your mind because you don't know what you're looking at. When people talk about being a jack of all trades and master of none, no pun intended, because we actually doing trading right now, but like in life, right? If I try to do everything, I will never end up mastering one thing. That makes sense?
Yeah, you know what, Jessica, I tell
Yes.
people the exact same thing all the time, and they've probably heard me say this, so I'm glad you're saying it too. I follow one educator.
Yes.
And if the other people don't teach what I'm learning from that person, then I don't follow them. You have to get one strategy. And I say the same thing. Don't try to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And that's why I decided to master market structure. So I only follow Stevenson Lindor. And it's like I cut out the noise. You can't listen to, it's like trying to learn 5 languages at one time.
Yes,
You need to learn one thing.
That's a perfect analogy. It's like trying to learn 5 languages at one time. So you need to focus on learning one style of trading and build on your knowledge as you go, right? It's no need to try and learn 10 styles and master none of them. Once you make money from a market in a certain method, why switch it up? It's no reason to. Just master what you've been learning, but you also got to understand what you're looking at. So the reason I trade fibs is because it literally just helps me, like, I don't like drawdown. So it helps me get perfect entries, and it lets me know where to get out the market before it starts reversing, because I'm also like one of those people that if I'm trading, like, just to be honest, this never really made sense to me. And for some people it might make sense, but for me, not so much. If I'm trading, I know the market gonna retrace. But why? If I just got all this money from the market, why am I gonna give it all back? Like,
Jessica,
yes.
who did you look to for your entry strategies and the fundamentals? I understand Stevenson Lindor for boxing in the price, but who did you like for the entries and the fundamentals?
One of my teachers, he's just like a teacher. His name is Logan. And he doesn't teach though. He just taught me just because I don't know. He reached out to me one day, and I guess he like really saw like that I was very, very serious about trading, but he doesn't really teach. And then Q is like a great friend of mine. He's the one that like helped me perfect entries when I first started. And then it's like I've kind of combined all 3 of them into like my own style, if that makes sense. So like I've combined everything, like even Gigi, right? Gigi's a phenomenal trader, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't do everything like Stevenson, like even Mario's uses like these different, I think it's like SMAs and EMAs. I never use SMA and EMAs, but we both learned from Stevenson, but you make trading into your own style to fit what you see and what you need to see to extract money from the market. And then from there, it just becomes mastering that and being consistent with that and constantly being on the charts. Like I sent in a Telegram today, a friend that literally made $1,800,000 in the market in 2 weeks. Like, I ain't making no $1,800,000 in 2 weeks. But it's like, I think sometimes people get so overwhelmed that don't really understand, like, yo, like, this is really possible. Like, the thing with trading is that the beautiful thing about trading that I love is like, yo, you are free. Like, you don't have no politics playing against you. You can be a felon and be a multimillionaire because the only thing standing in your way is you against yourself. Period. That's it. That's all. And once you learn a skill set, you can literally make money whenever you want, wherever you are in the world, just by mastering your knowledge. So really, at the end of the day, if you're not successful in trading, 9 times out of 10 is because of the unwillingness to either invest in yourself or laziness. One or the other.
I want to cut you off because I see people commenting about the felon. Let me guys tell you a true story. A guy on our team made $32,000 from prison, taking 1 trade a day. Trading from paper, they would have to draw out their charts.
Wait, run it back.
Yes.
You know, it's ForexNChill, I gotta, but
I'll have to show you his testimonial video. He's a personal friend of mine, married to one of my friends. The gentleman was in prison with him, and every day in the yard, he would see the gentleman in a corner by himself with a piece of paper drawing something out. And he asked him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Well, you know, the guy was a white collar crime guy who was an investor and a trader." He's like, "I trade Forex." Somebody would call them in the open, close, high and low of the daily candle, and they would draw it out on a piece of paper. And if you hold it up to TradingView, it looks exactly like it. And they would trade Euro USD based off the previous day's candle, open, close, high, and low. And so his last year of prison, he was trading, and he walked out with $32,000 from trading 20 pips a day on Euro USD with a standard lot.
I don't know. How did he place the trades?
They had a phone.
I got the answer to that one.
Dang.
Wow.
Yeah, Pip Hunter's on here. He can tell you it's a true story. This is somebody we know personally.
He's like my best. He's my best friend.
Love him to death.
We talk every single day, like 8-9 times a day. What happened was his dad would call him in the highs, lows of each day. He would mark out his chart on paper, graph paper. He would send it back to his dad. "I want you to make this trade for me." And he'd send it in an email by 5:30 to 6 o'clock every day. The trade went in at midnight every night. And the next day he wouldn't know his results until 5 o'clock the next day. And he made $32,000 in prison.
Yeah, you should hear his story. He's a great guy. He was a deputy where we live. So like his stepdaughter used to spend the nights with me and everything. I never met him personally until after he got out of prison, and he came to one of my iMarkets events to see what we were doing. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, before the internet, this is getting so off topic, and I hate interrupting you, and I'm gonna shut up.
No, go girl, because I'm with you.
And when I went to his house, I took pictures of him holding his paper from prison, and it's on my Facebook. I'll just have to find it and send it to you. But I'm gonna shut up now. You go back to teaching. I'm glad Eric's on here because that's one of his very dear friends. And Eric's helping him make the transition from trading on paper to trading on TradingView. Can you imagine, you know, like what we have here is complicated to him because he was so used to that pen and paper and that daily candle. But yeah, back to your fibs.
That's crazy. I really like. That's
I have
really
never
crazy.
heard Jessica speechless before.
Yeah, I never heard me speak. Like that's crazy. But also, it also like just goes to show and speak volumes. Like, and yo, I charge everybody that's on this call because I feel like we privileged, yo. Like we so privileged to the point where we don't put our all into everything because we know we always got something, right? And trading is something that, like, if you really want to see a massive amount of success, you got to put your all into this. Like, you got to eat, sleep, breathe trading. Like, I don't do nothing else. I don't train people no more. Like, I literally, I don't hang out with none of my friends. Like, literally, me and one of my closest friends fell out because she was like, I just don't understand why you always have to be on the computer, and I don't understand why you always have to be on your phone when you do this. I'm like, girl, I'm making money. Like, you gotta chill. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you gotta breathe this. And that story is just like a testimony from the sense of, it's not even a thing of just time, right? It's like, what are you willing to invest your time into? Because I feel like prison, okay, it kind of reminds me of when I went to Thailand, right? I knew that I just needed to change my atmosphere for a second. So for those that don't know, in April, I went to Thailand for 2 months, and I just went to go trade and just like look at the elephants and just be in Thailand. And it was my first time out the country. I went by myself. Yes, I went for 2 months. I just was like, one day I just woke up. I was like, yo, like, I trade. Like, why am I here? Why am I at home? Like, trading really is freedom. Do you understand that as long as you got internet, you can really do and go and be wherever you want to be? Period. But back to the testimony. So it's this guy. He's actually, I've taken him on as like a mentee of mine, and he lives in Jamaica. And sad but true, IML Academy, right? It's people that have been signed up with IML Academy for months upon months upon months that haven't even gone through IML Academy, haven't even gone through basic videos. I paid for this guy's account, and he literally went through all the videos in like 3 days. Everything, like, he's one of my private students, and everything I tell him to do, he does just like that. But his circumstance and his situation isn't like what we have in America, right? So like he isn't like handed things just like that. Like, he really, really, really works hard. And I feel like sometimes we say like we working hard, but we really not. Like, we be like, oh yeah, I'm so busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But like, are you being productive with your time? Like, busy and productive are two very, very, very big and different things. And in the market, like, yo, the chart's got to be like your baby. Like, I know how gold moved in and out. Somebody was like, yo, like, gold met a level of support here all week. Like, how did you know it was gonna break? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just know, if that makes sense. But everybody gets to a point where it's like, I remember when I first started trading, I thought trading was so hard. Like, one time I just cried because I had lost, I lost $26,000 in the market. And I just was like, yo, like, I know it's doable. Like, I see millionaires around me. Like, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, you get so frustrated, like, where you feel like you just want to quit. Like, why am I not being consistent? Like, I'm putting my all into this. But then it's like, you got to realize and also understand, like, are you studying the way you need to study? Right? Are you back testing? So you can mark up a chart and say it's going to go somewhere, but like, are you back testing? Like, are you even seeing if your analysis played out? Because that also comes with psychology. Some people even just scared to trade, right? And it's crazy to me because they'll be quick to place a trade signal, but be scared to trade their own analysis. And it's like, do you understand that when you take a trade signal, it's really like, you just putting your whole destiny in somebody else's hand. Like, time and money are two of the most finite resources. And you telling me that you are more willing to just take a trade signal and you don't know what that person went through this morning. They could have been feeling some type of way when they marked up charts, right? So their clarity, like, when I have bad days, or if something is wrong, or if I have like a lot that I'm dealing with, I am not on the charts. Like, Steve told me that a long time ago. Jessica, if you're dealing with something emotional, or if you got family issues, or if you're dealing with this, dealing with that, don't be on the charts, right? And I wasn't on the charts. And it speaks volumes, and it really like lets you know, like, your mind really got to be at its top performance and its best performance in order to do this. So when I talk about studying and how you're studying, are you studying where you're like distracted and you got like a TV on? So like, you marking up a chart, but you looking at TV like the whole time that you marking up a chart. Or you on your phone and you on Instagram while you talking or while you marking it up, right? Like, all of these things play into account. Okay? I'm not trying to go on a tangent. I just really need y'all to understand like what people don't say. Any questions before I go back to the fibs? Because I feel like I keep playing.
Thank you for saying all of that, Jessica. That helps.
Yeah, because I feel like like, yeah, marking up is important, but I feel like a lot of people really just struggle with their psychology. Like, it's not even a thing of like marking up. It's more so of a thing of like, why is it that you will mark up a chart, but you not get in a trade? And then the whole time you just watching the trade do exactly what you thought it was going to do, but you ain't press buy or you didn't press sell. Or why is it that you can be in a trade and you know that that trade is wrong, invalid, your account super in the negatives, but you just got this false hope that like, I just know like maybe it's going to come back around. Like, hope is not a strategy. Okay, at all. Like, hope is not a strategy. You gotta know. Like, it ain't no, like, even some of my students, if they give me their homework and their homework is wrong, I do not even go on to the next session. Why? Because you cannot get this wrong in the market. The market is no room for fuck up. And excuse my language, because I know it's 200 something people on this call, and I'm not trying to cuss, but that's how passionate I am about this. Like, it's not even a joke. It's not even a game. One of my students, I don't know if he's on here right now, so don't be mad at me for putting you out, but I just got to say it. One day, we were supposed to have our session, and he didn't do his homework. And I low-key got mad at him. I was like, you don't want this. Like, you had a week to do your homework, and you ain't give me your homework. Like, why am I about to waste my time teaching you? I will return your money, because for me, it's not about the money. People that really, really trade, a student is more of a, like, we do this out the kindness of our hearts because we make money in the market. We don't need $2,000 or $2,500 or whatever the educator that's teaching them is paying. Like, we teaching people because we really want people to learn this skill set so that it will change their life, right? The market, you can just trade with no stress. You ain't got nobody calling your phone a million times a day. Gigi, you know. You don't got to worry about nobody but me, myself, and I.
And
right?
them
For
200,
real.
300 messages a day.
Yo, you don't have to worry about it. So I really got upset with him because I'm like, I'm taking my time with you. So, like, I want y'all to ask yourselves, like, when y'all marking up or when y'all trading or y'all doing this or y'all doing that, why didn't you analyze the charts when you knew you were supposed to analyze them? Like, if you're, like, let's say you, and everybody, I feel like you should just do this, period, point blank. You should have one day that you analyze for the week. Mine, I do it Monday nights just because I, like, do it for everybody else. But, like, my days, before I was doing, like, teaching for other people, I would do it every Sunday before the market opened. Like, and you have to be consistent in that process. What time a day do you look at the charts? Like, if you are telling me that you look at the charts all throughout the day, every day, like, and you don't have a consistent time, that lets me know that you're not a profitable trader. It's certain things that, like, it's no leeway on. Like, if you told me that you traded a session and you got in the market at 6 p.m. in a trade, I would look at you like you crazy. What are you trading right now? People, like, even when it comes to US 30, right? It amazes me how many people, like, try to trade US 30 and they don't even know what time US 30 moves. So people are getting US 30 in the middle of the night and literally can't sleep because they in drawdown or they market fluctuating. So they waking up every 2 hours to check their phone. But, like, US 30 don't even move like that until about 8, 9, 10 a.m. So, like, what are you doing? So it's those small little things that, like, literally change the entire process of your trading that matters. Like, people, how you do small things is how you do everything. That makes sense?
Yeah, the most
Yes.
successful traders I know look at the
They
market at the
discipline.
exact same time every week. They mark up
The
their charts.
exact same
I
time.
know Eric's on here. He has an exact time that he looks at the market and exact days. We know Terrell, when he hit his 6 figures in 7 months, he was very methodical. He did the exact same thing every single day at the same time every single day, and it led to 6 figures in 7 months. So
Listen,
you have to be very structured.
if you do not structure your trading, you cannot trade. And I'm not even saying that to be an ass. I'm not saying that to, like, trading is not for everybody, right? And I'm going to be transparent with y'all about that. Trading is not for everybody. Like, everybody's mindset is not the same, right? And you got to be honest with yourself. Don't just do it because the money, because if it's not for you and if you aren't disciplined enough, you're going to lose all your money. So you got to understand, like, the little key principles and nuggets that, like, identify and make successful traders. Like Gigi said, like, you got an exact same time. Like, I have an exact same time that I mark up. In the morning, I have the exact same time that I, like, look at the market and just see, like, okay, where is the market at this point? Is my analysis playing out? People are like, oh, like, you're a trader. Like, the most common question I feel like people ask is like, oh, do you have to, like, sit in a computer all day, in front of a computer all day? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But you do have to put in your chart time and understand the market. Like, that's a completely different thing. Looking at the market at a certain time to see what the market is going to do based off of your analysis is something completely different from back testing and analyzing for learning purposes. Don't confuse the two.
What's the times it is that you look at the chart? What's the times it is that you do trade? What's your trading schedule?
So for me, I typically only trade gold or US 30. Gold sometimes does move. Typically, like, depending on, like, certain moves or whatever case, maybe gold can move like around 11 p.m. like if it's like on a retrace, or like, of course not when gold is like in consolidation. So I would typically look at it at like 10, 11, but the market doesn't make its move then. I'm just like looking like a real quick look and just see where gold is. And then in the morning around like 8, 9 is where I like really start trading, like sitting at my computer and really like trading and
Oh my
place my
God,
trades.
we just said the exact same times.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like 10, 11 at night, and then again about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I set my
Yes.
alerts and keep it moving.
Yes. So gold and US 30 is like really the only two things that I trade, just to be honest. There are people out here that like trade everything. Me, I honestly personally feel like it's like a relationship. Like, you know your mama, you know your daddy, you know your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever you got, and you know your sister, right? But if you got in a relationship and you got a boyfriend, and then you got, let's say you and your boyfriend broke up and you started talking to a whole bunch of dudes, right? You're not gonna know them whole bunch of dudes like you know your boyfriend, right? That's how the market is. I like only trading certain things because I know how gold moves in and out. I know how US 30 moves in and out. And like, once you are able, huh?
I said, preach. You are so right. You are so right.
Once you are able to identify those things and understand how they move, like, yo, I catch gold on the way up and gold on the way down. If it retraces, I know exactly where it's retracing to, so I know to put my TP there. Yes, you should not counter trend trade when you are first starting, but when you understand what you're doing, you can trade at any given moment, period. But you got to know what you're doing. And I think that's the differentiating factor, is that a lot of people just look at this as a money-making play. Like, yo, I'm about to make some money real quick. But no, it's a big difference from making money and extracting money from the market consistently, or looking at the market as a gambling or a money ploy to where you feel like you don't have to put in the work and you just about to take a profit real quick. You will be humbled real quick. I had a conversation with one of my friends the other day about trading news, right? Now, there are some people that can trade news to a T. I actually trade news, but I know what I trade when I trade news. So, like, I don't know how many people check Forex Factory, but you have to understand, like, what news is happening and how the market reacts to those news events. If you want to know how to backtest that, go to a news event and then go literally at the time and the date. All you got to do is go to down here, type it in, and see what happened. I'm not going to give y'all cheat codes for everything. Like, I want y'all to do the work that I actually put in for this as well. But I definitely always trade CAD news, for sure, because like it always plays out. AUD news, NZD news sometimes, but like one of my friends, he lost a whole bunch of money on a news event. And I'm like, bruh, like, well, it was a girl actually. She lost a whole bunch of money on a news event, and I'm like, you trying to catch the quick money opposed to like, why are you trying to gamble? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know market, when the news event hit, the market could just shoot up 50 to 100 pips at one time. Cool. But what happened if it shoot up them pips or it wick you out first, then go the opposite direction? And then your account just went from like positive, I don't know, $300 to negative 2,000 in like 60 seconds. And then you got a panic attack, so you don't even let the market settle back down. You just panic because you see your account super negative, and then you pull it, and then you depressed, and your heart is just so sad because that's what just happened to your account. But you ain't even know what you was doing. You was just being impulsive. Right?
That's it right there.
That's it, girl. Tell them. Mm-hmm.
Back in
The
the
offering
days when I
basket
was
at the
young.
offering basket.
Remember that song Back in the Day? Yeah, Back in the Day.
What's the song?
I think we all started out like that. Hopefully we've all evolved from that.
But is it making sense?
Absolutely.
A lot
Yes,
of
ma'am.
sense.
Yes. You're getting into the mental, Jessica. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Because mental is where it matter. Like, yeah, I'm about to, like, it's like, I was two-way because I'm like, yo, like, am I about to break down strategies? Like, because typically that's what I do on Mondays. I'll, like, mark up all the charts and stuff like that. But I'm like, nah, like, because I know it's people out here that know how to trade, but they not successful. Like, you know how to mark up a chart, but you ain't successful. Like, why you not successful at it? So let's peel back them layers, because you can't fix something unless you first like identify the problem. So it's very, very key. Like, even my students, like, I make them write out their emotions as they're trading. Like, you got to write your emotions out. Like, how did you feel? Like, do you let your trades fluctuate? Do you put your stop loss too close? Like, when you exit a trade too early, like, what was your reasons for exiting too early if you didn't stick to your trading plan? Like, did you do it off of a break and retest, or did you just get in the market just because you was trying to catch the reversal, but you really had no confirmation to get in the trade in the first place?
Confirmation, that's it.
Wait. I feel like we in church. Somebody was just like, mm-hmm.
I kept saying, just pass the collection plate.
Well,
Yo, for real though, it's real. It's real because, somebody just said something?
Yeah, I did. May I ask you a question, please?
Absolutely.
So, my question is, do you have a specific pip goal, or do you just play it off of your fibs and to where you expect it to go?
Fibs. Me personally, I play it off of my fibs, because the thing is like, you can have a pip goal per day, right? But like, when you know what the market gonna do, like, it's like the best feeling in the world. Like, even this gold trade. Is Chris on this call? Chris Parker, you on this call? Chris not on this call? No? All right. Well, anybody that was with me and talked about gold, are you on this call? Anybody at all?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, oh, hi. I don't even think I've ever like met you before. My name is Jessica. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
No worries, no worries. So like, so you've been on calls where I talk about like fib expansion levels and stuff like that?
Somewhat. I joined your group, like, I've been on 2 calls.
Ah. Okay, well, you might know this answer. Like, how far back do I let the market retrace before I pull it if it's in a retrace?
I don't know that answer.
That 38.2. That 38.2.
2.
That is okay.
That 38.2.
So this goes back to my point when I was telling people like, yo, if you in the market, right? So I'm just gonna give an example and I'm gonna use it with the brush, right? So if we in the market and we just caught this full downtrend, right? So let's say we at about, I don't know, it depends on what you were trading. So let's say that you were at about $1,000 off of this one push, right? Now the market going up and you at 23.6 and now you at like, let's say $900. And now you at about like $800 and then you at $70, I mean, not 70, 700, 600, 500, 400, 300. Like it's just really like, I understand that people are swing traders and you should definitely have patience. Like patience, if you ain't got patience, you won't be successful as a trader. Even though I know that I don't have patience, but I know how to adapt to my not patient. That's not a word. I know how to adapt to the fact that I don't have patience, right? So here's like what I do. Yo, I draw this fib and I know I'm gonna let it go to 38.2, but like if it goes beyond 38.2, like my take, like my stop loss in profit is always at 38.2. Because if it retraces beyond that, I'm not about to let my account, why would I give all the money that the market just gave me back to the market? At that point, I'm about to find another entry and enter the market to get this whole push. I'm about to get that. And then it's going to retrace a little bit. And if it retraces all the way up here, cool. Now, opposed to me giving all the money back to come up here and then get the money back again, which makes no sense. What I'm about to do is enter again. So now I got this whole push, and then I got this whole push. And then let's say it pulled back one more time, then I got this whole push. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that not make sense?
Yes.
Makes sense to me.
It makes sense, right?
Makes
like
perfectly good sense.
You gotta make sense. We ain't here to get the money to market. I mean, we ain't here to get the market the money. Like, we trying to take money from the market, not give it away. You know what I'm saying? So, let me go back to this gold trade real quick. I do want to do some analyzation in this. Okay, so gold, right? We drew the trend line right here on Monday. And the whole thing, we know that if price breaks through, it's not just going to fall to the floor. What we are looking for is a retrace. So the confirmation that I had that the market was literally retracing here and falling is one, this trend line break, but also understanding that this was a previous resistance zone in the same area all throughout here, right? So that like literally was my confirmations to get in gold. Period, point blank. Like, yes, so somebody asked me, they were like, how did you know the market wasn't just going to come back up here at this point? Which it could have, right? Because the whole thing is that we need to trade what we see, not what we think. So at this point right here, I literally was in for a buy and I was not entering this market for a sell until I got this retest. And the market did not shoot through this line. We had a level that was respected all right here. And then once it broke my structure on a lower time frame, we was in there. All right, let me go to 15 minutes. I will break this down. And sorry for all the lines, guys. I do not like messing up my charts once they're pretty. I mean, I don't like deleting like my old analyzations because I like studying them sometimes or breaking them down. So ignore all like the lines.
I was gonna ask you about that because I know you say you mark up on Mondays. And are you just marking up just your 2 pairs, or are you doing multiple pairs?
Well, I do multiple pairs for people on Mondays just because like I know that everybody's not like me. And not only that, everybody doesn't have the capital to just trade gold in US 30. You know what I'm saying? So I mark up for everybody at the beginning of the week.
But for like, you know, so, but for when you're making a suggestion, if you're just trading those 2 pairs, you're just gonna mark those your 2 pairs up.
Yes.
as opposed to like doing the 25 charts and whatnot.
Yes, but if you, okay, so let me backtrack with that, because okay,
I mean,
so
I understand you got to find, you really need to find pairs that you like you said, the ones you have a relationship with. 'Cause I
yeah,
found my
so typically when my students oppose to me like making them mark up 25 random charts, I will make them mark up 5, depending on what we went over for that. Like, okay, so let's say on one session we're doing break and retest. Literally their homework, they have to find like 5 examples in their pair of break and retest, but typically all my students have like 6 pairs. So they will end up at that point, marking up like 30 charts because it will be 5 examples on each chart. But it's only those pairs that they are going to be trading. Does that make sense?
I just want to wanted to clear that up because, yeah, thank you.
But listen though, because when I first started, Stevenson had me mark up 25 charts. It's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just my personal preference. Everybody has like a personal preference, you know? So it's nothing wrong with marking up 25 charts. Like, I just am that type of person. I don't like looking at everything because also sometimes, like, I got bad memory, okay? Y'all know, like, I don't know if y'all read my bio. I was training for the Olympics in boxing. I definitely, when I was younger, like used to spar guys, and I got hit in my head a couple of times. Not funny, but it's true. Like, my memory not the best. You know what I'm saying? And like, how many times will you like mark up a chart and forget what you was looking at if you marked up a whole bunch of charts? Like, I know I'm not the only person that happened to before.
That's the biggest problem, is because there's so many.
And then you
go
end up
back and you mark some up and you miss
missing
a
the
move.
setup.
Yeah, that's
You
the
end
worst.
up missing the setup. You could have marked something up at the beginning of the week, but you marked up a whole bunch of charts, and then literally it will make you miss your setup because you've been looking at so many different things that you forgot what's doing what. Even if you press your alerts, but then it's like in your alerts, if you marked up, let's say 25 things, and you got Euro USD in a buy, USD Chief in a sell, you got Euro AUD for a buy, you got USD CAD for a buy, you got, I don't know, GBP AUD for a sell. After you get done with all that, how much of them sells and buys did you retain for each one? So then you gotta like psychologically be like, yo, was I selling this or buying this? Even when you put your alert, like, yeah, you could put a little note in your phone, but like, yo, I know, like, I can call out, like, yo, gold went to this number. I was expecting gold to drop to this number. Like, I know it to the point where I can call out the price in which I'm analyzing. Like, I'm waiting for gold to push to such and such number and fall to this number. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate it.
But again, though,
I'm sorry, I feel like I'm cutting you off. When you say you have your team mark up like 6 pairs but 30 charts, like 5 markups per pair, are they marking up different time frames on that pair?
It depends on what we're working on. We work on something different all the time. So like some days we'll do, well, they're on a, okay, so everything is step by step. First part, they'll have like, so the very first thing we do for my students, we'll go over foundation because that's key. You can't understand nothing without understanding foundation. Then it'll be like market structure. So with market structure, they'll break down their charts or whatever. Then it'll be break and retest. And then we'll go over supply and demand. Then we'll go over Fibonacci. But it's like yes and no. I have a certain way that I trade different time frames, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
No worries. So, for the guy that said, I just wanted to clarify again, because Stevenson Linder is like that's my dog. Like, it is nothing wrong with marking up 25 charts. If you've learned from somebody, I know Terrell also has his students mark up 25 charts. Like, in trading, everything is preference. Just like some traders out here teach Elliott wave and some traders out here teach this and teach that. Like, that's their preference for trading. Just like most people, they don't really use Fibonacci, but Fibonacci is my preference for trading. So it's not that looking at 25 charts is wrong. It just doesn't work for me because of my memory. Like when I was looking at everything, I was forgetting everything. And I was missing trades, and it's like I will mark it up and I wouldn't get in it because, yo, I just looked at all of these different things, but then somebody's rebuttal would be against that will be like, yo, like, let's say I know some people that only trade GBP USD and GBP AUD, right? They've been in consolidation for the past, what, week and a half now? So if you were trading GBPs only, literally you ain't make money for the past week and a half unless you're a scalper. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just kind of depends on your preference. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it also pisses me off sometimes too, because sometimes I will mark up, like, because I'm disciplined and only trade when I trade, sometimes I will mark up for the week on Monday and tell everybody what something is going to do. Like Euro USD, called it out to a T. I don't trade USD. I mean Euro USD, not never, right? Everybody in my chat made money from Euro USD. I'm seeing people profiting. I'm like, damn, I ain't even getting Euro USD. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's always a flip side to every coin, but like, I would rather just me stick to what I like, my plan. You know what I'm saying? Discipline is everything in trading. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just my preference. Yes.
I was just wondering how you got those like vertical lines on the chart. Like it looks like it's predicting price action. Is there like something that you use to get those?
What vertical line? You talking about Fibonacci? That's the Fibonacci.
No, not Fibonacci. Is it like the time ratio?
What vertical line?
I think those are the
I think
blue
it's
lines.
the blue lines. The blue lines.
Yeah, the blue lines.
That are your bar copies.
Yeah.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, so like at the beginning of the week, I'll put out my analysis. So typically when I draw it out, like when I send out the trade signal, I'll send it and it'll look like this before it plays out. So I just like, when I'm marking up charts, I put my analyzation and I'll just use the bars pattern to show people where I want price to go.
Could you show how you do that?
Oh yeah, you just go, one second, I don't know why.
As bars patterns under prediction tools, it's like a copy paste.
I don't know why okay, here we go. All right, so where is it? Here. You go right here, bars pattern, and then you literally just, like, I think I was marking up Euro AUD. I'm actually about to go to it because I just did it yesterday for somebody. Was it Euro AUD? Okay, yes. Okay, so look, y'all. Let me show you how beautiful this is. Okay, so hold on. I don't know why my chart looked like this. Like, it's not, something ain't right. Why it keep scrolling over?
Yeah,
like,
sometimes when the market closes on the weekends, it's
so ugly. Like, I need my tools. All right, y'all. So I was marking a Euro AUD for somebody, right? And I just want to show y'all this because it's just so perfect. And let me delete it because it's so, I don't want to give y'all, I want to show y'all. Okay? So look at this. So y'all see where Euro AUD is right now? Like, yes, this is a complete uptrend, okay? We can even put, like, if I did analysis from the top. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, right, so here. All right, I never trade Euro AUD, so I'm just gonna delete everything and like really show y'all how I analyze, just so you guys can see. So here, for me, I always put my monthly and weekly in blue. You don't have to color code. I do, just because when I'm on a smaller time frame and price is at a certain area, if I just have like a whole bunch of black trend lines on my chart, like, it's like, okay, that's a trend line, but which one? And as I was saying earlier with you guys, like, time frame correlation is everything. So if I know something is at a blue trend line, I know that it's at either a weekly or a monthly, which means that like it's a strong level that I need to pay attention to. Does that make sense? My daily, I always use red.
Yes, that makes sense.
I always use red just so I like kind of like know what's going on.
So when you're marking up for a new week, do you like clear out the previous week, or you leave it like that?
You say what? Say it again.
When you're marking up for a new week, do you clear out the previous week? Like
No. I never do. That's what I was saying with gold. Like, that's why I'm marking up on Euro AUD, because gold and US30 are my babies, and like I don't want to touch my past. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never clear my charts. Some people do. Like, it's always good to look at the market with fresh eyes, but I never clear mine. I just like adding on to the future, just because it's like I like seeing, like, I always use bars pattern as well, and that also helps with my psychology as I was learning, because it helped me to like really understand what things are doing and why they're doing it, and like it just helps with your psychology. Like, if you put the bars pattern and literally the market does, like on gold, where you saw that pattern that I had, when you see it play out exactly to the T, like you have more in your spirit. It's like, yo, like, I know I'm the shit. Like, I know I got this. Like, I know I'm not about to second guess myself because my trades are playing out. Like, you got to talk to yourself in the market. Like, you got to talk to yourself and be like, yo, like, I got this. Like, that's the only way you can be successful in it.
So you use bars pattern as opposed to what?
What you mean?
You said that you use bars patterns. That's how you know that everything is going to play out?
No, that's not how I know everything is going to play out. I use bars pattern to draw out what I see happening. So like at the beginning of the week, so like, let's say the market's right here, and let's say I said from this point the market is going to go into a uptrend. So let's say it was something like, and I'm not analyzing this right now, so hold on. Okay, here we go. So let's say I said it was going to look something like, let's say, and this is not an analyzation, let me clarify before somebody say I sent out this trade signal, right? I'm not analyzing until Monday, but I will literally just draw out what I think is going to happen, so that once the market starts moving and it literally follows it to the T, it's like it's your past. Like, you see your trades playing out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And one more question. How far back do you go to analyze for the future?
Only what's relevant. So I'm about to show you on Euro AUD, because literally I never trade this, so I'm just about to do like a markup of it real quick.
Okay.
So I started at the monthly here. So I have, like, some people just put the high and the low. Again, I always use the trend. All right here, you see like price never went above this area. I don't go too far back, because this is like 2006, 2007, even though it's like relevant for the future. I mean, even though it was relevant in the past, like, I'm not really worried about it right now. Until price breaks this level and shoots up here, I'm not going to be like focused on that, right? So I just look at like past price to see like the relevancy in terms of like the monthly and the weekly just for structure points. But when I'm analyzing, like I'm like where current price is. That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
So right now, for instance, right? So two things that I just take note of, right? Something that I already see is that price right here, and this is just off of like what I see and what I understand to be going on. So price right here broke this trend line. So that means like we could possibly be in for like a reversal of this area once this come back to test this trend line up here. Like that's just a mental note that I have, right? I also know like right here where price is, literally it's kind of respecting where the trend line just broke. So some people will literally mark their trend line at this last candle. No, I'm about to go where the median of price was, where it found valid support levels. So here, 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 and then up here, it literally broke through here, and we see that like price is pushing back up to this area. That makes sense?
As far as where you're drawing your trend line, do you start at the open or the closing of the candle, or do you start at the wick, the end of the wick?
The wick, but sometimes it depends on what time, like what time frame I'm on as well, because sometimes I'll use the median of price. So like the middle of it, it depends on what I'm looking at, honestly, to answer that question. Typically I'll use the wick, but like even right here, I'm not going to count this wick because the median of price was at these levels. That makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So I'm just looking at this. I'm seeing what's going on. So I see like price just broke this trend line right here, right? But I see like where price currently is for the past few days, it's been on a downtrend, even though the overall structure is going up. Like that's also why time frame correlation is important. And when you see people marking up, I don't care whose session you on. When you see people marking up, you need to understand what time frame they're marking up, because you can watch somebody in not IG live. You can watch somebody what's it called? IML TV session, and somebody can be saying, oh, something is going to go up, and then you can have somebody else saying something is going to go down. It's not that neither one of them are wrong. It's just that they analyzed it on two different charts. Like somebody could have analyzed the one that's going down on a 1 hour, so they're literally calling out the retrace, or you don't know that they're a scalper or intraday trader, and then the person that called out that is going in a buy, they're looking at the overall move. So they looked at it as like, this is the overall move of what's going on. So I know that this is going to, let's say, be a swing trade. That makes sense?
Perfect sense.
All right. So where price is, like, I see like, okay, this broke this line right here. So that means like one, on the daily, I see, no, not daily. On the weekly, I see like a lot of exhaustion at this area, right here. Exhaustion means that like price was kind of rejected from coming to this like lowest point. So that means that I could see price pushing up a little bit. But then I'm going to go to my smaller time frames and see if there was a break of structure or if any higher highs and higher lows were broken, which they have been. So now I know that Euro AUD is about to be on a retrace, right? So here, smaller time frame, I'll put that about like right here. I'm about to use, this is just me. You don't have to do this. Daily, I use red. 4 hour, I use green. And then 1 hour, it depends on how I feel. But these are like my significant areas. Typically for the 1 hour, I'll use like a darker blue or a black sometimes, just depending. But here I do see that like, okay, price has been like coming to this area all right here. So this is a trend that is currently a downtrend, but it's only a downtrend on the smaller time frame. I know that price literally at this point has the potential to pull back if at this level it does not fall to make a new lower low. Did that make sense? That resonate with everybody before I be going too fast?
Yes.
Actually, can you dial that back one more time? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay. So I'm going to take it a step back. All right. So first, understanding structure, right? And I'm going to delete. This is a mental note that I have that I'm aware of, but I'm going to delete it for now just for teaching purposes because I don't want the chart to get too cluttered. So here, the high and the trend for like the monthly and the weekly is this blue line, right? Now I'm about to go to the daily, and I see like for the daily, this was a trend line here. I see that this previous 2 weeks structure broke. This trend line broke right here. You see that? Everybody see that trend line break? So I'm going to go to the smaller time frame and see like what exactly is going on. Even though overall I see like, even though overall on this daily, this is an uptrend, I see that when I went to the smaller time frame for the past 2 weeks, we've been going down. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So remember that this red trend line is the daily. So I know that's a very important part. I know the market is not just about to fall all the way down without retesting this daily trend line, right? But I'm not going to get in for a buy until I have confirmation, because this could easily keep going down like this. So I need confirmation to say, okay, this is no longer forming lower lows and lower highs, but then we have a break of structure to now form higher highs and higher lows. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But we don't have that confirmation until structure breaks and retests. So we don't have confirmation that this is about to keep falling to the floor until structure retests. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It has to retest the trend lines, correct?
Yes. It has to retest anything that is broken, not just trend line, even if it's a support and resistance. Like even with gold right now, that demand area that we had, every time it breaks through, it has to retest. So even if we looked at this as a support and resistance zone, right? So I'm just going to draw this line right here. This right here broke and it retested. This is just a supply and a support and resistance. You see that?
Yes.
That makes sense?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm just kind of like showing you guys my process and like when I'm analyzing what I'm doing and what I'm looking at. So I just want you guys to like see kind of like the overall picture of what's going on. So here on my smaller time frame, I do see that like, okay, it's at this trend line at the exact same place that everywhere else it touched the trend line, it fell. But I also know where I am in the market on a higher time frame. And I know that at this level right here, we found a level where price had not pushed further. So I'm just marking this in my mind, right? Like this is like really called analyzation and understanding like where you are in the market and what's happening, right? So at this level right here, I could have a continuation of a downtrend, possibly, but I need to wait and see what happens when the market opens up to see, am I going to come down one more time before I push up, or could I push up from this moment, break, and retest this area to go higher? Does that make sense?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But you have to wait on that confirmation. That's why it's very, very imperative that you do not trade what you see. You trade what you think. How would I react to this? Literally, I would set an alert at every level that I need to be broken to see how price is reacting. So like when my alert goes off, I'll literally look at the market and see like, did this break or did this just respect this area? So for what's going on right now, we see that there was exhaustion at this area and we see like a big bearish candle forming, right? So that lets me know that even though I had like a little bit of exhaustion on the weekly, I see that like this could test this area one more time before breaking, because it wasn't a lot of bullish momentum that just went through this trend line. Because then if it went through this trend line, I would know that it has to retest here, and I would literally put my entry right here for the buy. That makes sense? Listen, I'm giving y'all some nuggets tonight. We 2 hours in. I feel like.
Nice.
That makes sense?
Yes. So do you just naturally do each step like this? Because I mean, you're flying through it so quick.
Yeah, like, but that's what I mean by like understanding the market, and then even like understanding like little things. Like, let me show you something so beautiful. That's just like so beautiful. So remember when I told you got to understand what happened in the past to know where you're going in your future? Remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, what y'all see right now?
Head and shoulders.
Head and shoulders.
Right? But ain't it so pretty though? Look at this. Let me show y'all. Like, let me just show y'all.
It's beautiful.
Right? Like, we just gonna grab, like, let's just say we grab like this little mark right here, right? And we just gonna flip this one good time.
Flip it, Jessica. Flip it, Jessica.
Ain't that just so like?
That's sexy. That is sexy.
Ain't it though?
That's sexy.
Ain't it? Hold on. Let me make sure. But like, even from the sense of like this little dip down right here, you see what I'm saying? Like, you see how like literally it's the exact same pattern on the opposite side. We got another head, and then we got the head. Then so what you think about to happen? Remember when I said we have to have a retest of this line right here? What you think gonna happen?
Look at God. Won't he do it?
Girl, what? Tell me about it.
Yes, he will.
But like, so I want to see a retest of like this red line, this daily line, and then I see it falling. But that's also what I mean by like trade what you see, not what you think. So like right now, this is my analysis. If we see big bullish candles forming, like, yeah, I'm taking this for the buy up until this area right here. And then I will put my take profit at that red line because, okay, I know that now we have like a resistance zone and I don't want the market just reversing on me before I take my profit. But like this, you know, it's just like, when you study the market and you're on your charts, like you will see this on your own. So I encourage everybody, like, yes, signals is cool, but like when you want to be free to like really understand this to the point where like you don't need nobody but yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
How you gonna be financially free and you still taking orders from somebody else?
Yeah.
You pull fibs on that green trend line there on the forward time frame?
You say what?
How do you pull fibs on that green line there, that trend line? Can you please demonstrate how you draw the fibs there on that 4-hour trend?
How would I draw it?
Yeah, how would you actually execute that Fibonacci?
So you always do it from the high to the low. So like for instance, here to here, and then we hit our take profit area perfectly, right? So now this would just be an extension of that level. So now we got our high to our low on the new trend. So if this respects this line, we can carry it down. But I honestly, because I do know that this is a demand zone here, let me see what this last area was and see if it line up with this -27. Like y'all getting all my nuggets tonight. Let me tell you, I'm only doing it for Gigi because I charge for this. Okay.
You the perks of Forex and chill, guys.
You say what?
I said, you see the perks of watching Forex and chill?
Yes,
Of course,
you can out
Gigi.
with Forex and chill, because listen, this ain't free.
We appreciate it though.
All right, so look,
Definitely.
I could see price potentially coming out here and it line up with this 61.8, but like this also like a very critical area. So this honestly something I have to see when the market open back up. I don't have enough confirmation right now, but you have to know where you are in the market. So like if it was here and this one, this push, and this push, taking it no problem, right? Even when I called out Euro USD at the beginning of the week, like take it no problem, but it wasn't in the demand zone. It wasn't in a strong like area where we need to really watch price. Now it's getting into an area where we really need to watch price. This red line is the like last point in which it was. So, I mean, I could say if price reacts clearly Sunday or Monday is not in consolidation or anything, and you see like bearish confirmation or whatever, you can carry it to the -27. But after that, I would only be looking for like reversals at this area just because of the past. And yes. Also,
Hey Jess, can you put that ghost feed back up there one more time? Like you had it before?
the what?
That ghost feed that you had? The
Oh
ghost
yeah,
feed
I
and
got
the
you.
dark feed?
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Appreciate your point.
No problem. Let me go to, where was it? Here. Here. Was that it? That was it, right? Yeah, that was it. But, yeah. Like about right there.
What did you just press to do that? I was trying to follow you.
Oh, you go to Ghost Feed. Oh, let me fix it a little bit. All right. This right here. So right here, you will go down to bars pattern.
Okay.
Hey,
And
it's Forex and chill. What's in that cup, girl?
Girl. Girl.
Gigi,
Girl.
that's the chill part of Forex and chill.
Yes, it's the
Yeah, I
Forex
know.
and chill. Listen, I was like, if
It's
y'all
Forex
looking at
after
Saturday
dark.
night,
It's Forex after dark, girl. Sip your cup.
girl,
Look, the more she sips, the more juice we're gonna get. Take another sip.
girl, right? Because
Exactly. Yes.
I was gonna say I'm about to send you another bottle.
girl,
Y'all leave my girl alone, man.
listen. The thing is, I don't even drink for real, but I'm visiting my cousin in Arizona, and we had like cousins night, and then we couldn't really go out or do nothing because I had my obligation to you guys. So we just like, even though I'm probably abandoning her right now. I told her I wouldn't be long, but I guess this wine just got my mind in a different.
Thank you.
But this is the pattern. Does everybody have it? Like, this is really what I see. I see Euro AUD. I see it. It could potentially drop one more time, but remember that this is a very critical area. So you really need to watch this area. Once it comes to this area, I definitely see it buying to this red trend line. Ooh, I see it buying to this red trend line right here, just to make like this opposite side of the shoulder that was here. So here, come up and then fall to this area right there. Got you? Got it?
Got it.
Damn.
Appreciate you, Queen. Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you drop your Telegram in the chat, Jessica.
Oh yes, y'all gotta follow me on Telegram. It is just about the pips. Let me see. Let me show you.
I have a question for you.
This is sip and pip.
Sip
So,
yes.
I see the head and shoulders pattern. Do you like, if you see the pattern, do you still go through your analysis like this, or would you just like?
Oh no, I still go through it because entry is everything.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Entry is everything. So like I definitely like the analysis is period point blank. This just gives me like a underline, like when I see the pattern, I just see like, yo, like I see what it's gonna be doing in the future. But my analysis is like telling me, okay, where am I gonna enter and exit the market? Because again, you can know that, okay, let me just grab this side, right? So you can know the market's going up, you can know it's going down, but where you enter it, where you gonna enter it? You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna enter it? Listen.
At the trend line.
Listen, but still, where you gonna enter it? You could say you're gonna enter it at the trend line, but I could enter it on a wick at the trend line, and you could enter it 30 pips away from the trend line. And I pop the standard and you pop the standard. But just because I pop the standard 30 pips before you, I got them points. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh! Ooh! Ooh!
Wicks matter.
Everything matters when it comes to trading.
I love some wicks.
Everything matters when it comes to trading. So you can know the market going up, but just the fact that I understood the entries, like where you gonna enter the market, how you gonna react when it get to this certain area, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
What you gonna do when she run up on you and call you bluff? You gonna stuff.
What you gonna do? Like it matters. It matters.
I need to be one of your students. How do I do that?
Well, you can email me. Okay. Okay, I'm getting hot. I really do feel like I just drank like a little bit too much. So I'm gonna cut this off soon. Cause I'm really getting hot. Somebody have my email? Laine.jessica03@gmail.com. Here you go. I just put it, but can you put Forex in the caption? Because I have a lot of people. Yes. So just get my email. I am going to be very transparent on this. I do charge. I want to be very transparent about that. But at the same time, you get what you pay for. Like, I have friends that charge exactly what I charge, but they don't be one-on-one with people. And they will give you videos. Like, the thing is like, you going to invest in yourself one way or another. You either going to invest in yourself because you lost money in the market and you got to learn the hard way, or you going to pay upfront for what you need to, and it change your life. Because I was a student that made $15,000. I was a student that's made $5,600 in a day. Yeah, I wish I made $15,000 in a day. Tell me about it. I ain't made no $15,000 in a day. I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. $15,000 in one day, I have not made. Do I constantly flip some coins? Yes. But $15,000 in a day, like, but that's also one thing that I want to talk to y'all about. That, like, I'm gonna be transparent about y'all. I mean, transparent with you guys. Psychology and trading is everything, and that's one thing. Like I said when I first got on this call, that I wanted to emphasize with you guys, and it matters more so than anything from the standpoint of when people see these big wins, right? Like even the guy that I told y'all about that made $1,800,000 the past 2 weeks. It's one thing, like, if you can't handle drawdown on a standard, how you expect to handle drawdown on 10 standards? Think about it. I have a friend whose account was negative $200,000. $200,000 in drawdown based off of lot sizes. But you want to know how much that win was?
How much?
How much?
$540,000.
Oh!
But that's the beautiful thing about the trading. Like once you get in a space where you like really be around like real traders, like it's like a whole network. Like your whole mindset changed. Everything changed. You cannot stay the same.
But if I might interject,
Today.
that person who has $200,000 in drawdown, he has capital to do that. Like you gotta know how much capital. If you only got a $600, budget,
Hey,
then
but
your lot
still
sizes
though,
can be
like
standards.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Like I agree with you, but let me tell you something real, so real, right? If you know how to trade, it don't matter how much capital you start your account with. And that's real, yo. Like I have seen somebody take $1,000 to $100,000 in 2 weeks. And yes, he over leveraged, but the thing is, you don't need more money in your account to know how to trade. You gotta learn a skill set. Because if you skilled at this and you know what you're doing, why not? Why not place a standard? Like I have placed a standard on the $1,000 account where most people say Jessica, that's over leveraging. But if I know, like Warren Buffett has a quote that says, risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. And it's so true. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing, but I also paid for this education. Let me tell you, my teacher that taught me fundamentals, I paid $15,000 for it, and people told me I was dumb as hell to pay that money. But I also realized that I graduated from Spelman, and Spelman was $160,000 for all 4 years, and you ain't even guaranteed a job after. My best friend right now is living in Washington, D.C., graduated from Spelman, and then graduated from Emory Medical School, and is at her mama house, 28 years old, depressed because she ain't got no job. But you telling me you spent $160,000 to go to Spelman and then another $120,000 to go to medical, whatever, public health school at Emory University? So
you got to teach her how to trade.
Yo, so when people like, Jessica, why would you pay that much to learn how to trade? It's because I knew, like, the guy that I learned from, like, he don't really teach people, but that's how serious I was about mastering this. Like, mastering everything about it. Because once you master it, you make that shit back. I have made everything that I've spent on my education plus more. When you go to college, you paying all that. I still got people paying student loan debt. My sister right now is a doctor, and she pays student loan debt. All my sisters are doctors. They student loan debt is crazy. And they don't even get paid half of what I can make in Forex. Ain't that crazy?
Sounds
don't
like you
say
should
right.
have some accounts.
It don't sound all right.
It's your scam.
Scam at its finest. And I love education. I feel like education is everything. You know what I'm saying? Like I am grateful for my Spelman education. Like I still want my daughter to go to Spelman. But with that being said, I also do understand that like life skills, like certain things that you go to college for, so many people even go to college and they don't even work in the field in which they like graduated or got a degree in. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I just got to pay off my son's college, $167,000, and he ain't even working in this field. I spent all that damn money on.
That's what I'm
it's crazy. Crazy.
So it's like when people are like, Jessica, like, why would you pay $15,000 for your education? Like I paid, so I had three teachers total, and then Steve paid $2,004, then Q paid $2,004, and then my last teacher I paid $15,004. But it was because I needed that like missing piece of understanding like fundamentals and cryptos. Like also cryptocurrency, just like a nugget for you guys. You need to invest in cryptocurrency. I don't know if you do, but you need to. Like, because we about to go in a recession for real. And a lot of people gonna have a rude awakening. And like, yes, trading is great, but like you really need to also invest as well. Like it's a difference between trading Bitcoin or whatever and investing in Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not about gambling. Like, understand what's in front of your faces. Everybody should read the book, Internet of Money. It's a great book. But it talks about cryptocurrency and stuff like that. Listen, y'all.
Where do we go to research? Where do we go to research more about cryptocurrency other than the book Internet of Money? To know which ones, because there's so many of them out there. Like most
So
people I
I'm gonna
talk to,
refer to like that's just the most like substantial book. And I can only teach you the way that I've been taught, and like because I don't want to I don't want to speak out of term when it comes to this, but like the way I was taught, literally, like my teacher just made me read articles and like he made me read the Internet of Money. But the thing is about cryptocurrency, you know, it's like a decentralized market, right? So a lot of the stuff goes through like the black market as well. It's encrypted. Like that's the whole point of it. You know what I'm saying? Cryptocurrency encrypted. Like Grant just put buyandstorebitcoin.com, but even with buy and store Bitcoin, like it's so many different current cryptocurrencies that you can invest and trade in. Like even me, yo, like let me put y'all up on game real quick just so y'all know this. So you know cryptocurrency can't be taxed, right? But you can literally tell the US government how much you want to report. So like just a little fun fact for you guys that are traders that like want to make millions one day. Okay, I have a friend and I started doing this. So in cryptocurrency, you got something called altcoins, stable coins, and then you have like coins that fluctuate. So Bitcoin is a fluctuating coin. Ripple is a fluctuating coin. What that means is like it literally fluctuates in the market or whatever the case may be. But you also have some like different cryptocurrencies that are like stable coins, where that means that when you invest in it, it's kind of like a US bank account, right? So if you extract that money from the market right now and you put it in a US bank account, the government will tax you on everything that you just withdrew from the market and put in your US bank account, right? But if you withdrew it and then put it in a stable coin, right? It is like your US bank account, but you can have millions of dollars sitting in there and the government won't know shit about it. Ain't that crazy? That is crazy. And then you withdraw that as much as you want, like pay yourself like every other Friday or whatever, so that you got like your constant money coming in to track to the government. Because the government just has something, it's called the Anti-Money Laundering Act, right? Where like now, like, yo, I was talking to them about this on Monday. Cash App shut my account down. I got $2,000 sitting in Cash App that I cannot get out right now.
Yep, and they took it, and you can't ever get it back. Yep, happened to me too. Yep.
Cash App shut my shit down. Why? Because I had too many Bitcoin transactions. But why did they do that? They said that I violated their terms and agreement, right? But the thing is because like when you try to use Bitcoin on Cash App, like it will make you send in your ID. Like they ask you, like, are you using it for investment purposes? Are you using it for business? Like all these different things, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing is that really that's just like the government tracking your shit. So if you got too much money going in it or coming out of it, they're gonna be like, oh, we don't know what she doing with this. And we as Cash App don't want to be like the what's it called? We don't want to be responsible or whatever because we don't have any like So this KYC. Everybody research it. Yes. Who is this? Chelsea? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. How you pronounce it? Okay. Take your microphone off so you can explain it. Oh, yep, like Chelsea. Hey, Chelsea. Yes. Like the KYC, like all that money, the Anti-Money Laundering Act, like literally it's like where the government has like these laws and stuff in place because cryptocurrency is really like how you think it make the government feel that you making all this money and they can't track it?
True, that's true.
Well, you know, back in the day, we used to could trade trade in America, and we had high leverages, just like the overseas brokers, and we didn't have to pay capital gains taxes. Too many people were making money, so they lowered our leverage 50 to 1, and now we have to pay taxes. Where other countries, they can have a leverage of 500 or 1,000, and they do not pay taxes.
Right.
Talk that talk, DG. Talk that talk.
So where do you hold this? Where do you hold the stable cryptocurrency, and how do you, like, it just sits in?
Yeah, so it sits, but you have access to it though. Like, it's okay. So prime example, think about when you first started trading, right? And you asked, like, somebody was like, oh, you need to sign up for Hugo's Way or KOT or Japets or whatever trading broker you use. You ain't really know nothing about it. Like, we did our research, and it was like more so of a thing. Like, people was like, yo, like, well, can I withdraw my money at any time? Like, how much money do I have to put in this? And like, how does it work? And like cryptocurrency and like stable coins and all that stuff, it's the exact same way. So it's still your money. So it's like, you know how like with a brokerage account, it's like Cash App and PayPal. You can withdraw it from your bank account at any time, or you can put money into it at any given time. That's how like the stable coin is, right? There are so many different stable coins. You can look them up. I will see the one that my friend referred to me. What time is it in Atlanta? It's 10 o'clock here. So that means it's midnight over there. Dang, we've been on this call for 2 hours. My jaw's tired. I will see.
Girl, take a sip of wine.
Girl, I'm out.
I know, right?
I'm out.
I used to be on ForexNChill.
I'm in the A. Do I need to bring you another bottle?
Yeah. I used to be on ForexNChill until like 2
I'm
o'clock
in Arizona right now.
Jess, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
When is your next Sips and Pips for us Atlanteans?
Who said it?
Sunny Ray.
Who said it? Huh?
Sunny Ray.
You ever came to one of my events?
You posted it once, but I missed it because I was out of town that weekend.
You follow me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, girl.
Hey, Sarah.
Oh, hey, Sarah. How are you? I don't know. I do need to come back to Atlanta though. I'm gonna be in Atlanta this weekend because my sister having a baby, but I need to. Okay, so like I really have this itch to just like, for real. Now that I trade, it's like, why am I gonna be at home? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Ew.
I hear you.
That's how we feel. But I will let you know. DM me and then I'll respond.
Okay.
Everybody that is sending me an
What's
email.
your Instagram?
Okay, I'm about to put them both up. So this is my Instagram.
Now listen, when you go to her Instagram, you're going to see her beating up people, so don't get intimidated.
You're so funny, Gigi. This is my Instagram. And my email is, this is my Instagram. It's Jessica Laine here. My email, you could use the email that's on my Instagram to email me for real, because I check that a lot. But also, the one that I put in the chat, I'll drop it again. And then I'm a Delta, whoever is my AKA or Delta, I'm a Delta. I just put my email back in the chat. Let me tell y'all something, and mark my words while I'm saying this. I am going to be the Warren Buffett of all women, period. Okay? So I just want to let y'all know because it's about to happen. So, does everybody have the email? And everybody have Telegram?
Sure.
All right, perfect. This is, can y'all see my screen still?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so here, y'all have everything y'all need. Gigi, I'm about to go. Thank you so much, Grant.
We
Thank
appreciate
you, so
you,
much.
girl. Listen, everybody, thank you for joining Forex and Chill again.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Gigi.
And we're definitely going to
Thank
have this
you,
posted
Grant.
for you guys with all of her links. Follow, follow, follow to show some love.
Yes.
And before we go, guys, you guys have had Clint Millian on here before. Whisper a prayer for him. He was going to be with us tonight. He had a very unexpected death in his family of a sibling. So just send some prayers and vibes his way. Give them their peace. I mean, their respect, you know, just silently send some vibes and prayers their way. But we love you guys. Y'all have a blessed night, and we'll see you next weekend on Forex and Chill. Those of you in the boot camp, see you next weekend.
See you next week.
So we love you, Jessica. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you, Jess. Thank you. Thank you, Gigi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
How?
Silly.